I am just putting the online shopping away. It's just been delivered. I'm a bit tired and a bit bored and a tiny bit lonely, so I thought, because I'm like putting the shopping away by myself, I'm like, oh, I don't want to put shopping away, but I've got to do it. So what I thought I'd do instead is do a quick video while I'm putting everything away, so I'm not by myself, and so that I don't eat little snacky snacks. They're little, like this little cake sitting there waiting for me to go into it. However, next to it is some grapes, which I think I will open and snack on as I go. So I just thought I'd use the opportunity. As I was just having a quick look for my Slim for Life target book that I've been asked to do a video about. Not entirely sure I've put that, so... Oh, I think they're fighting. Wait a second. Okay, I think they're fine now. So, yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, so basically, as I found this piece of paper, I've got one piece of paper I found. I used to just write stuff down just to kind of trot me up what ideas. I've got reasons to lose more weight and reasons to keep the weight off that I have lost so far. And I've got what have I gained from losing 2.5 stone. So I've got a little list there I'd quite like to read out. And also another part of the video I'd quite like to do is things. I'll just pause again. Okay, that's my little boy just wanted to come have a juice, so I've got some juice. So the other one is, part of it is things to remember. So every now and again I used to write stuff down. When I was getting myself in a bit of a pickle, I would write stuff down just to see how far I'd come so far. Also, this week I have got some almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, Sainsbury's own brand. Which is 750 ml, is Healthy Extra, so I am well impressed with that. I haven't tried it in some coffee yet, but that's usually what I use my milk for, so I am well trying that. And some space, shove it in. So yeah, so I've got things to remember and what have I gained from losing 2.5 stone. So I'm going to do a bit of holding this at the same time as put my stuff away. So I have got sitting at a table without bumping my stomach, like sitting up at places without just hitting the top level of my tummy. Just pause again. Right, Benji's just come. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna help me put the shopping away. Okay. So, and the next one I've got is not being too hot in summer. So when summertime used to arrive, thank you, spaghetti. Thank you, Ben. When summertime used to arrive, I would be very sweaty, just too hot, just really unnecessarily hot, and I appreciate that now.
Ever have this.
And I appreciate that now, not being so incredibly hot.
Wow!
Got wearing a slim fit jumper. Just spoke about my jumper before. Thank you. My back doesn't ache all the time, so I don't have constant backache from being overweight. What else have I written here? I can ride on my Brompton without feeling like I'm huge. It's a folding bicycle that I used to have. I don't have it anymore because I sold it because I needed some money. Thank you, Benji. I can't hold all of them at once. You have to give me all the time. That's fine. Thank you. And because it was quite a small bicycle, when I used to ride it, it was quite big. I just felt like riding a little clown bike, whereas now I'm a little bit slimmer. Not that I ride it now, of course, because it's gone, but I just felt a little more sensible on it. Thank you very much, Ben. Let's put it down. Also, I can sit on the tiny child chairs in reception class. So when I went to go and see Benjamin do like when you do sort of, thank you, like when you go and sit in their class and maybe hear them read or watch them do their thank you, watch them do their kind of writing or that sort of thing. And they invite all the parents in and such. They only have tiny child chairs, they don't have big adult ones. So when you're quite big, you have to be like perching on the tiniest chairs in the world. And thank you. And it's nice to be a lot smaller. Thank you, to be able to fit onto those chairs. I've got learning more healthy habits. So I've learned a lot more healthy habits. And I've got following YouTube channels like Jane SW, Katie Jane and Jane Day, which, you know, that's something I've gained. I mean, that's a part of the world that I didn't have access to before. It wasn't something I ever did, and so I do appreciate that part of it, what Slimming World has given me. Thank you. And what I've done through, you know, losing the weight. I've also got here, what will I gain from losing one more stone? And I've got being confident in a vest top and shorts, because it's this bit of my belly really. That bit there, I just want to lose that squidgy bit, and the squidgy side bits really that I'd appreciate. Thank you very much. Some baked beans. That I'd appreciate just losing. I appreciate that. My paunch will be smaller, and my thighs, just my thighs will be a bit slimmer. I'm not super fussed on it, so I'm not like pushing myself or anything. I'm just, you know, I'm happy I've got to where I have. So I'm not being like crazy rushed. I've also got the next one, thank you, that things to remember. So this is this type of thing here. So when I used to get myself in a bit of a pickle, I would just kind of write stuff down just to remind myself how far I'd come. Do you want me to take that as well, Benjamin? Thank you. Thank you. So I've got options, not limitations. So not think what you can't have, think about what you can have, think about how much your life has been expanded by doing Slimming World, not by what you can't have anymore. That's not, it has to be options. What are your options? How have your horizons been broadened? Thank you. For example, you know, just simple things like the red kidney beans. That's not something I would have eaten on a regular basis. Now I do. Things like Coleman's mustard, I eat that. Oh, thank you very much. Natural cottage cheese. I've got things here. There are no banned foods, just some moderated foods. So I've got some, you know, there's certain things just a little bit moderated than others, and that's not a problem. We can do it. It's not banned. It's not like you can't eat it anymore. It just means you just eat slightly less of it. Not slightly less of it. You eat a measured amount. Thank you, Benjamin. Some bites popcorn. Yeah, remember I can have anything I like. So what I sometimes used to be guilty of is that I would think, I can't really have that. Thank you. Chopped tomatoes. I can have more than one hex healthy extra. I just have to sin the other one. And that was something that took me quite a little while to remember how to incorporate more. Like, you know, if I want a bit more bread, I can have it. You know, try not to set off a deprivation thing going on. Thank you, Benny. That's so helpful. Thank you. The plan is about freedom, not restriction. The food. Thank you, Benjamin. That's good balancing. The food is not the issue. It is my behaviour around it. So it's not the food's fault. I can eat. Oh, you are pretty much, aren't you? Really last scraps.
Yes.
I have a lot of space in my tomatoes.
Boy.
Thank you. Please don't crash it. Thank you, Benjamin. I really like the way these fit in this cupboard. They proper just slide in there. There's only just enough space to fit them in. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you for your help. So the food is not the issue. It is my behaviour around it. So it's not the food's problem. It's just how I react around food that's the problem. I've got eat more trigger foods to show yourself you can enjoy food in moderation. So I used to like to just test myself and see, rather than avoiding foods and then avoiding more foods and then avoiding more foods, I'd like to just try it out. If it went wrong, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I can start again. There's always the next day. There's always the next moment. But it was nice just to test myself and see if I could enjoy it in moderation. It's okay to have joy in your food. So it's all right to enjoy it. It's all right to pleasure in it. It's all right to go, oh, this is delicious. You know, it's not a problem. It's okay to get comfort from your food. Just use choice power and choose on-plan comfort food. So there's loads of great stuff you can have on Slimming World. It is ever so comforting. It's battery's low. Just press that button. You know the difference between binge eating and comfort eating. Pause that, let's then come back to have me some more. So I know the difference between binge eating and comfort eating. Comfort eating is where you're eating and you're enjoying your food and you're having a lovely time. It's just pleasant. Binge eating is where you've got out of control behaviour. Well, that's what I think it is anyway. That's what it is for me when I lose control and I can't use choice power anymore. It's just gone off the rails. And all I do, it's okay to take a break if you need it. So that was my biggest issue, where I would just feel bad about having a break, and therefore then I would eat instead of having a break. And that's, I just keep reminding myself I can have a break if I need it. I'm just going to grab this up here so I can use 2 hands to undo the knot. As the Sainsbury's stuff comes, the freezer bags. The freezer stuff comes in a bag that's knotted up, and I just like to keep the bags because, of course, you don't get free Sainsbury's bags anymore. So I like to keep those. Got here, binge eating occurs when you feel trapped. So when I feel trapped and I don't feel like I've got any other way out, and I still need some energy and I still need some comfort and I still need some input in, something interesting in my life, that's when I tend to binge eat, or when I used to. And it says at the bottom here, I have developed binge eating as a last resort option. So I have, when I feel like there's nothing left else that I can possibly achieve, then my brain just goes, well, you can do that then. That's one last little thing you've got. That's the last backstop, as it were. So those are the couple of bits from here. I know that this one here is a bit of a repeat of kind of my non-scale victories a little bit, but it's my gains, what I've gained, how has my life been enhanced in a general way, rather than just little moments along the way. Like how has it now changed forever, as it were. Oh, I've got a wet tummy somehow. Oh, it's from the freezer stuff. So that that's that one. Which again, I would like to know what you feel you've gained from losing the weight you have, no matter how small amount the weight. But what do you feel? What parts of your life have you gained that you did not have before? What aspects of your life has changed dramatically that very likely is not going to change back? And then I would also like to know what sort of things you have, where you have things that you remember, things that you have to remind yourself, things that you sometimes, your new habits that you've made, and your new brain patterns that you've made, that help you understand just how far you've come. I'd be fascinated to hear about those as well. Sorry if that's a bit of a bit too complex and a bit too maybe not so the concepts there are not very easy to pin down, and they're very similar to other concepts, but I feel that they are quite distinct. And those types of behaviours where I write things down and remember just how far I've come are very helpful to me, because sometimes day-to-day life happens and you forget just how you have changed, and there's a bit of you thinks that absolutely nothing's changed. You're still in the same body, so nothing has changed, but you have to keep reminding yourself, well, I have to keep reminding myself that I have changed, and to remind myself what I have changed so that I remember to keep doing it, and that keeps my older habits at bay, and it gives my new habits room to, I don't know, grow, I suppose. Okay, so I'm still struggling with my knot in my bag. I'm just going to put my freezer stuff away, and then I am ready. I'm going to make myself a hot decaffeinated coffee with some of my almond milk, and I will see you next time on the next video. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and commenting. It's really exciting just to hear about everybody's different views on things, so thanks so much for your support, and I will see see you next time in the next video, which I will hope to be that Slim for Life book if I can find it. And I'll do a little video on maintaining my weight as I am at the moment, and do a little video on the types of things that Slimming World suggests that's a good idea, and support it offers in the little book. Thank you, see you next time, bye.